Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Brony Show, episode 607. Alright, Christmas Eve. I am joined by a nice little cup of screwball peanut butter whiskey eggnog. This thing is so thick, I swear it's coating my lungs. But I'm also joined by a wonderful group of panelists here to bring you the Brony community for the holiday season. I am joined by DM21,
Ho ho ho, where are the hoes?
Tech Stallion,
Got some pictures lined up for today.
Tokoi,
I so want to just continue the Feliz Navidad, but I'm going to let it slide.
and of course Suki of the Otaku Ascended.
I think you're drinking your eggnog wrong.
I probably am, I'm not gonna lie. This might be my last glass for a little while because I am starting to feel a little bit here because I was sipping at it during the pre-show with Cold Dust doing the making the card and apparently giving CMC a J Buddha and a Barbie Catwoman.
Rare.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, this was interesting, but God, I am going to have the hardest time going through this bottle because it's interesting to start, but you can't drink a lot of this. It is way too weird. Just the peanut butter eggnog, it's just the peanut butter overwhelms it so radically that it's like drinking thick peanut butter syrup after a point.
Ooh.
It is weird. It's interesting, but it is weird, and I am not surprised that there were leftover bottles. And I wish I could have gotten some more of the Evan Williamson, or even the Smirnoff of Red White Mary. But yep, okay. I think I actually hit my end point there. So everybody, I do apologize. I am hydrating though. Make sure to to hydrate well if you're drinking. It'll save you from grief later on in the evening and in the morning.
Also, make sure you have a relatively full stomach.
That helps too. But the big thing is, I want to make sure I'm ready to have all cylinders firing tomorrow, because tomorrow is Christmas Eve. We are just a couple of days away from the big holiday of Christmas. I'm sure most people are at least feeling a little bit relaxed and, kind of merry in their own right. Maybe because it's just a day off of work. Maybe a little time with family. Maybe they got that $20 gift card for Lowe's and that they're going to just use to get a bug zapper of some sort. Who knows? But, Christmas, it always feels like Christmas Day has at least a little bit of cheer to it, or, a little bit of nice and relaxingness to it, even for some unfortunate people that do have to work. But for the most part, it feels like one of those good days. So
At least I get off at 1 tomorrow.
yeah, there you go. I get off at my normal time, but I'm all set up to go to a hot pot place for Christmas Eve dinner. That's gonna be nice.
Tomorrow is day 6 of working nonstop, and Christmas is the only day I have off.
See, even the fast food slave wager gets Christmas off.
But I am having the Christmas party at work tomorrow, so it's not horrible. It's just it's been 6 days.
But what?
I once worked 15 straight days.
21 straight days, actually.
All right. This isn't a measuring contest about how much you want to get abused by the employment system. But this is about having fun here and now. And to celebrate and get ready, we have ourselves a house. A big old house. A questionable house that smells faintly of cheese pizza. And we are going to decorate it. We're going to decorate the lawn. We're going to decorate the windows. I'm going to wonder why I keep hearing screeching coming from the distance.
Our house in the middle of
Hold up.
You good, man?
Sorry. There's somebody screeching around the streets out over here really loudly for some weird reason. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, a moment I thought it was my printer being picked up because My first package of cosplay stuff came today, along with some icebreaker gummy mints. So I'm happy.
Well, that was random. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and warm up our vocal cords a little bit. Even though we're running way late. I'm not gonna deny that. So let's keep it short, simple, and sweet, everybody. A little bit of wub, just a little short bit of wub time. So, what's up, Bronies?
I went
Did
to the
mine.
doctor. I went to the doctor's office and for the whole morning, but at least I got something out of it. Well, on the way home, me and the fam picked up some cakes.
Sweet.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any other quick wubs? All right. Little quick wub for me. I got my honey. I'm finally going to start making some crazy fruity weeds. Hopefully have them ready by BabsCon. Or at least have the recipe ready and done by BabsCon time. And also got my hotel for Everfree Northwest set up. So I got room ready. And yeah. Last
I'm
call.
not going away about Everfree until after Harmony.
Well, yeah. Well, fair enough. Anyone else?
Oh yeah, I also watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Not
Which
the live
one?
action one.
Which
Not the
one?
live action one.
Which one?
The old
The
cartoon
original
one.
and
The
original.
I can't believe I have to say which one still. Anyway.
There's at least 3.
There's at least 3 in a video game now, but we're not going to get into that. All right. I'd say with that, our wub time is up. Let's go ahead and get into the news. Of course, even though we are still just a couple of days away from Christmas, we are still getting plenty of pony news and little fun things to check out. So, of course, we wanted to talk a little bit about it, let you know that it's out there and interesting for you to check it out. Starting off, of course, with convention news. As mentioned, the conventions will be starting up again at the beginning of the new year, starting off with Vancouver, which will be in 3 weeks from now over in Vancouver, Canada. So if you enjoy some poutine or you want to have some ponies over from our friends up north, Canada is going to have their convention on the 17th of January. Of course, if you want to wait a couple more weeks, HarmonyCon is going to be having their convention coming up in Dallas right near the end of January, beginning of February. Tokoi and CMC are bound to be there. I don't know if anybody else is at the moment. But hopefully the next year I'll also be there to talk about it and participate in the fun as well. Then make a nice little breather.
We have learned Cole is not likely to attend Harmony because of a local train show that happens around the same time.
Well, that's not even well, yeah. Who knows? Well, I mean that year anyway. But who knows?
Yeah, true.
Anyway, so we're getting ramped up, getting ready to start off the conventions here. But let's go. Starting off with, speaking of conventions, Mayor Fair, the third one, is set for September 5th to the 7th. So, yep, they're doing it once again. They have it set for the 5th to the 7th of September. So if you do have any thoughts of joining, or at least checking it out, plenty of time to start planning and making those trips.
However, it is kind of close to Everfree.
It's after Everfree, though, so, hit Everfree first, then hit Mayor Fair.
Fair enough.
Well, mostly because you can't do it the other way around.
True.
Anyway, so, yep, Mayor Fair is coming up. Next on the news docket, Symbiote Studios. They've been making a lot of amazing pony plushies. And it looks like Equestria Daily was able to snag an interview with the CEO of Symbiote and get an idea of their planning, some of the things that have been happening in the background, and some possible future. The big things that you could take away from this interview, I do recommend reading it and checking it out, but some of the big takeaways, they're hoping to get bigger plushies out. We're talking
like a Big Mac plush.
Yeah, they're looking at like 24 to 30 inch plushies.
Those are big ones.
Yeah, they're hoping to do it with a good, reasonable price. Along with that, that's one of their hopes.
We can actually get like an Ember plush then, because that. Ooh.
They are still planning on expanding the line of plushies available to even more of Generation 4 characters. they basically want to try, if any character had at least a good amount of speaking lines in the series, they want to try to get a plushie of them. So a lot of potential for background characters or some of the more secondary characters that we're familiar with. And
that explains Lyra and Bon Bon.
And there's even the hints of Scootaloo, Sweetie Belle. Well, not even hints. They basically hinted that Scootaloo, Sweetie Belle, and Apple Bloom are the next 3 to come out in plushie form. And there is even a little bit of looking around to see about Generation 5, though, admittedly, and even I can admit to it, Generation 4 was more popular. So Generation 5 plushies might be a little less on the docket, or they're going to be a lot more limited than the Generation 4s. But
understandable.
But yeah, there's a lot more in on this interview, so I do recommend checking it out and have a little fun with it, but it is a good interview. Moving on. So, speaking of things that you're surprised are not quitting or slowing down in any way, and we are very excited for that, the comics. Another comic has been announced. This case, My Little Pony Case of the Missing Puff, another G5 comic. Of course, this one was interesting because it was found in an announcement page, but it looks like the beloved pet pup of Zip and Pip has gone missing, and of course they're going to start trying to find said pup. And it is going to be part of a connecting series of screens. You can see that the Rise of Cadence and the one starring the 2 little misfits there are actually going to be part of a full 4 set with Rise of Cadence, Sky's Secret, The Missing Puff, and Tournament of Mysteries. And some of you might be wondering, we never talked about Tournament of Mysteries. So there's another comic coming out called The Tournament of Mysteries.
No Tournament of Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny?
Oh, they mentioned it in this one. But yeah. Oh, you know what? Okay, I did not read it for as far as I should have on this, and that is my bad. So, yeah, the Case of the Missing Puff. You, of course, got the Odyssey there, the reimagining of the Odyssey. And the Tournament of Mysteries as mentioned, but okay, there's not a lot more to go on that. Maybe I didn't miss anything. I don't know. There's 2 more comics at least. So Pony comics are still coming in nice, hot, and hard. I'm going to rephrase that. They're coming. They're still happening, which is cool.
So you know it's too late, so it's already clipped it.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean we can't mute it for the record.
Christmas came early this year.
Speaking of which, Wild Mains. Yep. Even though we got the we got a clip show for the holiday, there's still new episodes coming out. This one, of course, dealing with indecision. And it's fun, and the problem is that I know somebody that I basically live a very similar scenario with this, which just makes it all the more funnier. Granted, I didn't meet eye to eye with the person. I ended up more like eye to fist. No, I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. There was never any violence, but oh my world, aggression. A lot of annoyance. And wait, check out the episode. It's good. It's fun. It's Wild Mains. You know what you're getting. So, Tell Your Tale. The concept art is still coming. Of course, we have Scout Kindheart, which now we're getting a look at some of the Scout character. And honestly, I really like this character's design. This looks awesome. I don't think we ever...
The ponytail look is growing on me.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame that that she didn't. I don't think she even really got too much of a headway into this. I don't recall her in any regard. Could be wrong though. But yep, we also get some more background images and concept of the ponies in those backgrounds and how they would have sized up with everything. Little bit of concept art with some of the characters, including the early versions of the Cloud Bunnies. You can see there were a lot more bunny than cloudy back then. I gotta admit though, the owls have me though. These are some crazy looking owls.
The hoot.
And the
Ooh.
bats and the birds here too. They really had some really awesome designed characters with some of
I
this.
thought it was the birds and the bees.
Nope, birds and bats.
That's
And owls.
Minecraft.
But they do have a mouse, lots of mice, and of course birds.
They got mices?
And and the pegamice.
They got
Pega rats.
flies.
Again, a little bit more of the Scout Kindheart there.
Why is she next to Zip?
Probably for a size comparison. Since Zip tends to be the tallest one, they can get an average height of everybody else in general, I suppose. And of course, there's the oh yeah, maybe she was a scout. No, she wasn't a scout leader. It had to be it had to be this one that was this. That one was a scout leader. She was something else. I don't know. Anyway, I also get Sunny with the scout leader thing. I also got Pip with a Sunny with a cross stitch Pip. Which actually that looks really cool. That actually would be really
Wow.
cool to see somebody do that.
Make that merch.
You can even do it with a zip as well.
I know CMC would go nuts for this.
It's really awesome stuff. And of course, don't forget the giant bunnicorn, the Pegabun. That guy, big
Chung-
bunny.
Chungus.
Why did I join back in for the phrase Pegabun?
Apparently, it's the magic words to summon you. And of course, we got a few more cross stitches. So yeah, there's a lot of cross stitches. Oh my god.
No.
You know, I'll give them credit. At least they concepted even that part, but just wow. And then
Why?
just a random river, I guess. It's concept. They got to measure things out. They don't just throw things in at random necessarily.
But a fart.
Yeah.
I mean, that is still a baby dragon. Farts are kind of a normal thing.
Well, here's another
People
one.
never relied on fart humor.
Anyway, here's in the why in the world couldn't they have done this with the original stuff? The Generation 5 and Equestria Girl instrumental albums have been released, and like the Generation 4 one, these have been helped to be created by AI removing the vocals. Instead of using the original music with the original soundtracks, they had to AI edit it.
Let me guess, the AI editing wasn't pitch perfect.
Not at all. So, yeah, it's got some weird jankiness and some weirdness to it, which people have easily picked up on. But it's still there. It's still there for a use, but at the same time, it just kind of feels hand on the head kind of situation.
Basically, it was one of the situations where they let the machine do something without having the human go back and double check its work.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's the whole thing with all this shit. It's one thing to like, hey, we can get things done faster with this, but you still need the human element to make sure it works.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
AI may be amazing, but it's still a tool. You have to be the one to be the judge of how this is, if it did a good job or not, or you have to go in and do some work yourself.
I'm not even gonna give it the amazing part, but that's
Okay. Look, AI.
No,
look, AI
I misspoke.
Okay. Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, okay, look, AI has has places where it's actually well, at least what we're trying to do with AI has its place in certain areas.
Yeah.
Certain things can definitely work, or whatever, depending on what you need to do.
Indeed.
Everybody brought up the whole thing about like the AI translations of like manga going through. Again, they did, at least did the smart thing. They weren't just releasing the AI translated or the machine translated.
No,
I need
it.
to specify on that because I really want to keep myself from saying AI now because it's not what it is.
Yeah, it's machine generated and different. It's
It
bunch
is
of
a
different-
language learning model.
right?
Yes, and you have to make sure it does its job.
And anyway, it is useful as a tool if it's used right. The only problem is that
Yeah.
they're basically giving the CEO the hammer and not giving the craftsman the hammer.
Indeed.
So it's
I
a
know
mess.
I sound like a broken record, but my sentiments exactly what's being said here.
Anyway, let's go to something that I'm sure everybody can enjoy. Plushies. YouTube has revealed more plushies this time. Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy are now are going to be available in just a few short days for your cuddle upness.
Aww.
And these are all sitting plushies, so
I have got the Indigo Pock ones, and they feel very nice and very robust from what I'm seeing.
Now we have to wait for his AJ and Rarity.
Okay, I'd bring up the page. But...
So, from what I'm feeling here, the material is very good, and I have Symbiote right next to it. It's a little bit nicer than Symbiote.
I have no complaints about the plushies at all. They're good plushies. I mean, the Flufflepuff I got is really good too. I mean, U2 does have a pretty good chance of quality. I would never say meh to any of it. Granted, their website is a pain in the butt to look through.
No, I agree with that. But, it's best to give comparisons because you never know who has what.
Fair enough. But yeah, if you still want to get your pony on, they still got the Twilight Sparkle and Pinkie Pie. And they are limited, so... Oh, it's still in pre-order, but they are going to be limited, so... Yeah, you want to get your orders in for it sooner than later, of course. And $30 per plush. And yeah, you can already see the Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy are getting close to coming out here soon as well. Personally, I gotta try to get my Twilight Sparkle in at some point.
By the way, Suki, how's the racing?
Anyway.
Why did that need to be asked?
No, it did not. We're gonna move on. Animatic for Tell Your Tale episode 28 has been released. Of course, again, a lot of Tell Your Tale stuff was left on the cutting room floor. However, it looks like some people are able to recover some of it and make some of it available, so we can get a general idea of some of the things that would have happened. There's a lot of something. Anyway, in this case, it deals with an under the sea birthday party.
Oh, joy.
So yes, there was a lot more potential for sea ponies getting involved with all of this and all the other characters.
The shoo-be-doo, shoo-be-doo.
Less shoo-be-dooing. But it looked like it would have been a lot of interest. It would have been interesting, a little bit of fun there. I kind of like the idea of it all, and it would have been cool to see it in full color and animation. And there's a chance that we might still have it. They might still have a full animated version of it that just wasn't polished. But I guess we'll see if it comes up or if we just end up having this. Which this is cool too, because we can still get a little bit of what's going on with it. But yeah, check it out. Honestly, I recommend checking it out, especially since once again Hasbro has been a little hit and miss on some of these. It could go up at any point. I'd rather if you want to check it out, do it sooner than later because hopefully you can grab it before it vanishes, which would suck. Let's see. Anyway. With that is it for the news. I hope everybody didn't mind a lightning blast of that. Now we're going to go ahead and move. Wow, we actually caught up to our normal timetable. How for crazy is that? Now, really quickly, unfortunately, I did not have time to get shops together. So, I'm just going to go ahead and shout out Etsy. As much as Etsy has its questions, I have my eyebrows about it. And honestly, if you could buy directly from the vendor or they have their own sites, go for it. But if you're just doing perusing and looking around and you just want something ponyish, go to Etsy and take a look. You might be surprised. There are still plenty of creators that still use Etsy. They're still personal created items, so they're not things that they're buying off of Temu or Alibaba and throwing them on here. They're actually genuinely self-created things. Wow, those are pins, really? That's actually kind of
Yeah, funny. I got my Baroness Blaze artwork from Etsy.
Yeah. So yeah, of course, a grain of salt. There might be some things here that you may not want. So just be careful with how you look. But a lot of great stuff here. Be sure to check it out. Also, be sure to check out different image boards on your character here, or YCH images. A lot of fun images are available right now. They're available for many different people, many different reasons. And the reason I bring that up is, hey, look at this one. I got this. Look at this cute little unicorn out here. It's just out and enjoying the snow. It's got a nice little cup of cocoa there. And do you know what the amazing thing about this? I actually I started the commission for this morning. This was done within a day.
Wow.
Aside from main
And it was
styles-
not expensive.
Yeah, aside from like main styles, you just need to have the animation down.
That still takes a little bit of work to get the animation down and the main styles and everything. It still takes a little bit of work, so give him some credit.
Oh, I'm not saying no to anything. I'm just like,
But yes,
The fact that this was done in a day is nothing short but spectacular.
yeah, a lot of practice had to be involved with this. Even if it's just random color dropping and getting things in there, it still takes a little work.
no, the base image is the hottest part of this because they have to make sure it works on every function. Because I've seen some of this stuff get done.
But yeah, like I'm saying, go out there, take a look for artists that have spots open. Take a look at artists creating things, and give them a little bit of support. I wish I could point to more direct things, but in a general, we don't have time. This is I feel this is a good way to at least wrap up the whole holiday shopping. Especially since, we're basically just a couple of days from Christmas anyway. I think your best bet is going to be digital content if you want to get it at least somewhere around Christmas. Anyway. So, that out of the way, I do not know if we're going to be able to do our challenge of the week with our normal peoples. But we'll go ahead and bring out the siren song and see if they come a-calling or if they're still busy making their calling card for the year.
Feather, trains, maple syrup.
People syrup.
Maple.
I hope it said maple because people syrup sounds weird. Anyway, so we have our challenge of the week. And our challenge for this week, it might be our last holiday one for a while. I guess it all depends on what everybody brings in for the wheel. Was, of course, Christmas light installation chaos. But along with that, we also had a challenge of equal and opposite opportunity. A challenge that says, that's cool, but what if we did this instead? Or what if we actually added this in to make it interesting? A challenge in protest, if you will. Okay, yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to make it. So, we'll try to get the protest initiative challenge for next week. But for this week, the protest initiative challenge was too much butter. And I'm once again, I did not start on this until literally in the middle of work today. Oh God, he's here.
Oh, it worked.
That is the appropriate thing to say whenever I arrive. Thank you.
I'm sorry, just caught me off guard. Called us. I didn't mean to steal your thunder, so I will give it back. What was our protest initiative challenge for this week?
What was our protest challenge this week? I can't look it up. Shit.
It was too much butter.
Oh, that's right. Too much butter. Shit.
Yeah, I believe it was due to a cookie recipe gone wrong.
No. Although I did once screw up an apple crisp that way.
Oh,
it turned from an apple crisp into an apple soup. Okay, this is many years ago.
Alright, but yes, this is one I made. I luckily had plenty of time at work, so I was able to really put in some polish and stuff, but it still ended up getting down to maybe the last 10 minutes of work I had before I was done with this. So I ended up creating this.
Let's have a look. Oh, that is so nice. That is like really good.
I'm admittedly, with all the crazy drawings I've been doing, I'm really starting to finally get into my own on how I want to draw things, including my legs and arms, which have been the biggest pain in my ass. But yeah, I'm finally getting somewhere there.
Yeah, this looks really good. This is a really good pose.
Yep. So of course we have Circuit. Poor Circuit. He's just trying to string lights across the entirety of the bar, and something goes awry. Looks like he slipped on something. Unfortunately, it looks like somebody ordered a crate.
Of butter.
I can't believe it's not butter.
No, this is worse.
Second, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
This stuff is inspired by butter.
Amazing.
My butter. Well,
10 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a few different things going with it, but I want to make this explicitly clear. It wasn't like actual butter or some margarine. I want it to be like some horrible knockoff that you wonder what it is, but you really don't want to know at the same time. So eventually, this stuff is inspired by butter.
It's
So,
just
wait,
lard,
Circuit. So is this the machine learning software now also learning how to make butter?
Pretty much, it's machine-generated butter.
oh my god.
Amazing.
So Farmer Toa.
Ew.
Yes.
I have made butter before, but it was for a project just so people could see how farming was done.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of goofed up on the main here initially. I was going to have it so that he was Circuit was more in a dangling thing, but I realized when I was drawing the main flying out because it was upside down, it accidentally curved, so I kind of went with it, and that's why it looks like it's just swinging back and forth wildly.
Yeah,
because if he was just in a dangle state total, he wouldn't be at that angle. This is definitely a swing state.
Yeah, it's a lot more swing state, so I went more with it. It ended in all honesty, it kind of works in the favor.
Does your circuit swing low or does your circuit swing high? Can you do it in a furrow? Can you tie it in a bow?
I think he's gonna
Pressure
die.
circuit, hang low.
Funny thing about the whole too much butter thing is funny thing is on Saturday I made grits, and the problem wasn't that I put in too much butter. Actually, the butter ended up doing great things for that. I then over salted and peppered it.
Oh no!
That's an issue with
Well,
grit.
because it was basically one of those things where it was like I tasted it and it was like, needs a little bit more. So I put some in, and apparently when I tasted it again, I guess I tasted one part that wasn't like that bad, and it tasted fine.
Oh
I was
no!
like, yeah, that tastes perfect. Then we actually used it with the rest of the breakfast, and I'm like, what the fuck?
No, we did get a few other entries. So we of course got last week's. Toa got his in a little late. This one was dealing with a stocking emptier and I think like wetness or dampness, something like that.
It was ice.
Ice.
I basically made a stocking cup.
Out of ice?
Das
And
Boot.
there's no ice in it. So that's why you have that look.
Really, because it's got cubes in there, or are those literally empty ice cubes? Which I gotta admit, that would be a level of trolling I don't want to imagine. Could you imagine actually making ice cubes that are completely empty, so it's it's the shape of an ice cube, but it's not actually ice in any way?
They do that. They're called they're plastic ice cubes.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, you can still make those cold. I mean, we're talking about like ice cubes that are like so hollow that it is like nothing there.
Well, I also forgot I did put the ice in there, so it could also be a drink that's not meant to have ice in it.
Well,
Or
you
sweet.
don't necessarily ice down beer, so fair enough.
We'll make it with Glaubers.
Yeah.
Well, again, some of the stuff I just do in the moment, so interpretation, actual artwork thought of. The artists don't know, so have fun with it.
Fair enough. All right, and another thing I also worked on. This one actually I wish I could say I worked on it for a few days, but this one I actually ended up doing over a day. But it took me more than a few hours. But the challenge was drawing a pony celebrating the holidays or spreading cheer. So
Yes, Santa Claus.
a rarity Santa Claus. Which
Rare claws.
Rare Claus, which I don't know why, but that tail drove me nuts.
It's the curl in it, isn't it?
The curl definitely threw me off, but for some reason it felt more three-dimensional than it really was, so I was trying to do it where it went like 3D to 2D, but I really should have just stuck it with a ribbon, but it was a weird thing. It was a very, very weird thing.
Looks
That's
good.
not easy to do from what I've heard about doing curls and artwork.
Yeah, no, I eventually got it pulled off. I wish I could have put a little more dimension in the hair and everything, but it's not bad. I mean, the Santa outfit is a lot more top notch than I expected it to be. So yeah, I am proud of it. No, make no mistake. I really had, like I said, I really started to come into my own on how I'm designing the ponies and getting the proportions and everything right. And yeah, this took a minimal amount of redraws to get the legs and the arms and everything right. The tail is just really the thing that drove me batty. That one took forever to finally get something down that I liked. And along with that, of course, we had somebody had a few additional gifts. Rainstorm got a few additional art gifts, images. So, of course, we got Rainy and crew checking over a salamander from the looks of it. And Rainstorm and some other crew doing other shenanigans. Really awesome artwork altogether, though.
Oh, that's social media thing.
Of course, a really, really interesting question is if I wasn't doing anything for such a long, if I wasn't doing the art until recently on both the challenge of the week as well as the other challenge that I was doing, what was I doing?
Going crazy.
Well, yeah, there's that. But no,
I feel like that'd be a good art challenge. Just what was Circuit doing?
Who knows? Maybe that. Ooh, I accidentally went to Legend. I gotta go back to Legend of Localization. I still gotta buy those books. Sorry, my brain just went somewhere there. But no, I was doing something, though. I absolutely was doing something. I can't find it. Where are... Oh, come on. I'm gonna... Fine. We'll just... So... I did this on my... Sorry. Words English failed me. But yeah.
Remove the English. Got it.
But yeah, I realized that I did have a Tumblr that I haven't really posted on a while, and I could use something to keep inspiring me on actually drawing and trying different practices. This is kind of where I started to realize how I wanted to start getting the hooves and feet down. So this really was the pushing point that got me going somewhere. But yes, I decided the whole week I was trying to draw. What if Circuit was just chilling out and realized I have a Tumblr I haven't updated.
my Tumblr has been abandoned for a bit, mainly because I haven't been
At that
uploaded.
zoomed out state, I thought the last frame was you tripped and landed just on the edge of frame.
No. No, I was just
That
running,
reminds
I was
me,
just
I
running
have
out and
all-
grabbing the cup of coffee.
I have
had
an
sitting there.
old film account, fanfiction writing account that I haven't visited in over a year. So
Yeah.
many years. God damn.
Yeah, it's just funny how many times you have an account that's just been sitting there for a while, and then, like, several months later, or even a couple of years later, you're just sitting there, it's like,
I
oh!
was active on that bugger for a year and a half.
Yeah. My only real problem with this one is the arms feel like they look like they're short, but I was trying to draw them so he was like spreading them out more than anything. Like he's like,
I think I know what you're trying to do there. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't quite make out the way I wanted it to. It just looks like he's got like T-Rex arms instead, but you know, it's a practice thing. I just need to work more on dimensions and things. Probably just made the hoof a little bit bigger, and that might have sorted things out a bit. But anyway, yeah, I was doing a 4-page comic panel to basically semi-announce that I was going to start working on Tumblr art a little bit more now, just to get some different practicing going. And try to get more light sketching going on. God, my butt is huge there. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on.
That's Equestria's ass right there.
So, we may be about to enter Christmas. We're going to be in the middle of after Christmas, but before New Year's next week. But we are still going to be doing our arting, our prompts for artistry, our challenge of the week, as it were. And DM21's already jumping into it with Circuit singing Jingle Bombs. What?
You know what? Aquaman would approve.
I'm going to have to do a lot of research if that runs up, doesn't it?
It's a Jeff Dunham's very special Christmas special.
With Aquaman, the dead terrorist.
Oh, Ahmed. I thought you were talking about like Abed from Community.
Oh,
No.
I thought you said the Bachman because I'm programmed to. I'm still making this card.
Nah.
You're fine, man.
All right, text telling. Technically, I will allow it, but I will just put it in as an additional prompt of Circuit singing Jingle Bombs, and I hate you all. I am not going to draw a circuit with a turban.
Yeah, no, don't.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Exactly. I'm just getting that out of the way now.
I mean, you could just be trying it on.
I can't believe it's not Toa. Forgotten social media.
Also, you
Ooh,
put,
I'm having a thought.
also you put one of the prompts in twice.
No,
No,
that was on purpose.
No, that was
Oh,
On purpose.
That was absolutely on purpose.
okay.
Okay. So,
Okay, Sonic, is the silence I kill you the prompt that you're also bringing up?
that is a Jeff Dunham
It is.
puppet quote, but I don't know if that's a actual prompt.
What was the
Yeah, that's what I was
thing
wondering.
that you were thinking of would be a good prompt?
Ooh, peppermint bark. I love peppermint bark.
Ooh.
Actually need one. I want to learn to make peppermint. Sorry, I couldn't help myself when Ahmed was mentioned. No, I get that. I'm just wondering, is that your prompt for the week, or were you just quoting for the giggles? That's
For the
just all I
giggles, I
want to know.
guess.
It's just what I want to clarify. 7 laps to go. All I could think is,
Oh.
For once, I gave you something normal.
yeah, I'm actually
and open
surprised.
to just open to what was it?
Quoting for the giggles. All right, quote acknowledged. Thank you, Sonic.
To perception.
Perception.
Open.
Would you like to roll for perception?
Well, we can roll for perspective. Oh, that reminds me. While we're waiting to see if any other prompts are getting in, Toa, is that your prompt?
I meant resolution, but you know, sometimes spelling is not
Perspective,
my
yeah.
thing.
For perspective.
You mean the
like,
revolution or the resolution?
I think it meant the resolution
Yes.
instead of the resolution.
That could also just be silly.
Is that actually a prompt though?
Meant to be resolution, but resolution can also work.
I'm just trying to clarify if we. If
No,
I should
Is that-
I know.
say what?
Is that meant to be a prompt? Yes or
Yes.
no?
Thank you. That's all I want.
Okay. Sorry. I know,
Talking,
we just
speak
have
English,
a lot of
motherfucker.
Speaking of which, speaking of rolling for revolution, what? Roll d20 for revolution.
Roll for
Viva
sandwich.
revolution.
Wait, no, that's already a you. Or was that?
It's a
Fine.
YouTube.
Alright.
It's gonna probably be a YouTube in a month, depending on
Alright,
how
what I
things
meant
go.
to
No,
say
no.
was-
It is a YouTube now. I'm trying to remember. Did it start as a Vine?
No, it definitely started as a TikTok. I was there during the early
I
times when
remember
it
what I
started.
was going to say about Suki's. That little one leaves a lot to interpretation.
Anyway,
Shit, why did I remember that now instead of earlier?
anyway,
That's how the human brain works.
I'm just gonna shuffle and spin now. My brain is gone.
Yes, do so.
Whee!
Speed.
Peppermint bark, the most normal one of all of them is. We got peppermint bark, everybody. No,
Merry
I will not.
Christmas. You got a normal one.
We got a normal one. I don't have to worry about Jeff Dunham or calling up MySpace. No, we just got peppermint bark.
I don't even think you would have the MySpace page because they've changed it so much.
I'm not going to talk about that. Protest Initiative Challenge.
Protest Initiative Challenge this week. That's a good question. Well, let's see here. Next week won't be leading up to Christmas anymore. It'll be leading up to New Year. So,
Are we actually
low
doing a show?
resolution.
Low resolution.
Low resolution. Because
This
let's be
Peppermint
real
Bark is
here.
Low resolution on the TV. What's going on?
Here's the reason why. Low resolution, because every year everybody makes a New Year's resolution, and we set the bar a little too high sometimes. So therefore, my mission for you, as the Protest Institute Challenge, is to set the bar low with a low resolution.
You know what?
Low
I could
resolution
actually,
screens.
I could already see the joke I'm going to make. I'm just going to have Circuit in front of a giant bowl of peppermint bark just staring at it. My resolution is not to empty this bowl by the beginning of next year. Do not empty this bowl by the beginning of next year.
Here, I'm thinking of making a joke with computer screen resolution kind of things, and or maybe just an image made that is thumbnail sized.
That works. Do it. Whatever you want to do.